Hey everybody, it's the Richardson family coming back at you with another video. Today's video, I will be making vegan chocolate chip brownies. If you want another alternative and don't want chocolate chips, just simply don't add the chocolate chips. But I'm going to show you the ingredient we will be using. So for this recipe, you're going to need flour, 1 cup. You're going to need Himalayan pink salt. And for your egg replacer, you're going to need to make 1 flax seed meal egg. And you're going to need cocoa powder. You're going to need coconut oil. You're going to need some non-stick spray for your baking dish. You're going to need some vanilla extract. You're going to need some sweetener. Now the sweetener of your choice. You can use different sweeteners such as the box stevia sugars. You can use maple, 100% maple syrup, or if you want something that's more easier to mix, you can use the liquid stevia drops. For today's recipe, I'm going to be using these stevia drops, the liquid ones. So we're finna get started. So now what I'm finna do now, I'm going to add my flour. So we're going to add 1 cup of flour. Got the measuring cup. We're going to get that 1 cup of flour into the measuring cup. But I always want to say the first thing you want to do is add your wet ingredient. So after I get this flour into my little measuring cup, we are going to add our wet ingredient. So the first wet ingredient that I'm going to be using, I'm going to be taking some of this coconut oil, a little bit over 2 teaspoons. Well, not teaspoons, but 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. So I'm going to be taking this coconut oil, which is my favorite, and I'm going to be putting it in there. And that should be enough coconut oil. Just going to scrape it down to the bottom. Probably add just maybe a little bit more, or a little bit over 2 teaspoons, or 2 tablespoons. I know I keep getting them mixed up, but a little bit over 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, depending on how big of a batch you're going to be making. Okay, so I'm going to take just a splash of vanilla extract. Going to be taking some of this baking soda, or if you don't have baking soda, you can also use baking powder, but I think I just might use baking powder for this. So I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So that's what we're going to do. Down a teaspoon, down a teaspoon. We're just going to add that in there. So after I add my baking soda, now I'm going to add some of my sweetener, stevia drops. And while I let this stuff mix after I use the stevia drops, I'm going to prepare my flax egg as my egg replacer. We're just going to add that many drops for now. That should be it for now. So now, we're just going to move on to the next step. We're preparing your flax egg. I'm going to show you how to do that. So preparing your flax egg, which is going to be your egg replacer, you're going to take 2 tablespoons of flax seed meal and 1 tablespoon of water. So make sure you don't overdo it. Make sure it's evenly on the spoon. And I'm going to be placing it in this container. That's 1 and 2. So we got that in there. So now I'm going to be adding 1 tablespoon of water to that. So I got my 1 tablespoon of water right here. We added it to it. We added it in there. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to gently stir this. And you're going to see when it's an egg-like consistency. And even if you added 1 tablespoon of water, because sometimes this, the flax seeds, the flax meal can come chunky. You can add like a little bit more water to like even it out. So my flaxseed meal was a little bit chunky, so I had to add another tablespoon of water. So basically, I'm mixing it, and it's coming out in a not too thick consistency, but a runny consistency, kind of like similar to an egg consistency. So I'm gonna just show y'all how this looks. Yep, this is how it should look, like that, like an egg consistency, just like that. So we're gonna add this because it's part of our wet ingredient. We're gonna add that in there. And now we're gonna let it do its thing and mix. So I'm just gonna be preparing for it to get mixed. So it's gonna attach my whisker to my mixer. And I'm having a hard time putting this on because sometimes I forget. Okay, finally got it on. By the way, this is a KitchenAid mixer. I don't really know the addition, but it's just KitchenAid mixer. Well, it says that it's Classic Plus. So we just gonna let that mix. Anytime you're making a big batch, you can just double it up. Anytime you have like the measurements, you just always double up the measurements if you want to make a bigger batch of brownies. So while that's mixing, I'm going to prepare my baking dish. Now, when you prepare your baking dish, it's a little bit self-explanatory. There's different ways you can do it. You can take flour and put it in your baking dish and move it around like that on the edges and the bottom. And when you bake it, it'll come right out. Or you can use what I'm going to use, which is just regular cooking baking spray. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this and just spray it and just get my baking dish prepared. Okay. So we got that baking dish prepared, nice and oiled up. We're gonna heat our oven on 350. I do everything on 350. If it's a special recipe, then I might end up doing things differently. But right now, we're gonna continue to let this mix. If you have kids like me, like literal kids, and they don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables now, a healthy way that you can boost up this recipe for their immunity and for them just health wise as far as how many nutrients and calories and things like that that they're taking in, you can actually add avocado. Avocado is good for vegan brownie recipes. Bananas are good for vegan brownie recipes. Applesauce, sweet potatoes, you can use those as egg replacements if you don't want to use a flax meal egg. But for this recipe today, I decided I'm gonna add a banana. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this banana get ripe in the microwave for a minute, and then I'm going to add it to the liquid, and I'll be right back. So while this is still mixing and while the banana is getting ripe in the microwave, what I'm going to do next, I want some icing for these brownies. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be taking some coconut oil, some vanilla extract, some liquid stevia sweetener, and some confectionery sugar to make some frosting to go on top. I'm going to be making chocolate frosting, so I'm also going to use some of my cocoa powder for that. So I'm going to get that stuff together and we'll be right back. So for the frosting recipe, I'm going to be using oat milk, a vegan milk of your choice, same coconut oil, liquid stevia drops, vanilla extract, and confectionery sugar, aka powdered sugar. Now, I won't be using this with this recipe, but this is just an alternative. If you don't want to use the powdered sugar, you can simply just use the liquid stevia drops and just use the cocoa powder and the coconut oil, vanilla extract, and oat milk, and blend that up, and that can be your icing recipe. So what we're going to do, we're going to get straight into this icing recipe. So in this icing recipe, I'm going to be taking the wet ingredient first. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be pouring half of this milk in here because we're going to pour the other half when we add the other dry ingredient. And then we're going to take the same coconut oil that we had before, and we're going to be putting in at least a teaspoon. So adding that teaspoon to it. So after I add that teaspoon of coconut oil, we're going to add 1 splash of vanilla extract. As you can see, I need to buy some more because I'm running out. I'm doing a lot of baking. So we're going to add cocoa powder. We're going to add like at least maybe 3 tablespoons. Or maybe just 2 tablespoons. Yeah, 3 will probably do it. According to taste, if you feel like you don't want all of that, you can just do 2. I think I'm gonna do 3 because I know my boys really like icing like that. So we're gonna take confectionate sugar. I'm gonna take some of this confectionate sugar, and we are going to take 3 tablespoons because we don't want it too sweet because we still want to be healthy. Even though confectionate sugar is considered vegan, it's not really always healthy. So we're going to make sure we're done with that. I left a little bit in the spoon. Okay. So we got that out the way. So now for this, I'm just going to stir this. Going to keep stirring it, and then we're going to blend it in a minute after we're done with the mix. So I'm just going to mix this just a little bit. And just keep mixing. So we're going to come back to the icing. I added the banana inside the mixture. This is how it came out so far. So now I'm going to be adding the flour slowly. So I'm just going to get this mixture off this spoon. Okay. So we're going to add this in slowly. We're going to restart that blender. We're going to put it on low. I'm going to gradually add in the flour. And we're going to let that half of the flour mix up. While that half of the flour is mixing up, we're going to add some oat milk. I'm going to gradually add the flour back in. Scrape the sides to make sure all of it get mixed together. I'm going to add some more oat milk. So I'm just going to add 2 more liquid stevia drops to this mixture because now it's coming out perfect. So as I add that, I'm going to take my vegan chocolate chips, 1 cup or a little bit over a cup. I'm going to gradually add it in. So you let that mix and you let that settle. Now as that is going, we're going to be taking a pinch of Himalayan salt. To balance out the sweetness and stevia drops and chocolate chips. And that should be good because Himalayan salt is very potent, so you don't need a lot. It allows you to have a salty mixture. So just be careful of how much you put in. So now the mixture is done mixing. Everything's all mixed in and good together. The mix came out perfect. It should come out like this, just like a brownie consistency mix. So what we're gonna do is just gonna scrape this, put this inside this baking dish. And it smells so good. You can smell like banana. You can smell the cocoa powder. Oh my goodness, it smells so bomb. And I know you guys hear that music in the background. My little daughter loves Moana. It's her favorite movie, and she watches it almost every day. Like every single day. And if you guys have any questions or comments, or even if it's a recipe you want me to try because you might not want to try it, I would definitely do that. Just leave a comment down in the comment box, and yeah, I will make sure that I have everything that I use in the description box. So now we're just making sure everything's smooth on there. So we want it to bake evenly. We don't want them to come out lopsided because sometimes I have a hard time with that. Okay, so now I'm going to get some more of this out. Just want to make sure we get all that in there. And please, people, I'm not trying to sound offensive. Please wash your hands. You know, we have to still use wisdom and keep our hands clean, especially when we're preparing food for our family. So hands should be washed, especially in between cooking, baking, or whatever you may do. Even if you're working, still keep your hands washed. Please stay safe and just be cautious. But remember that God is still in control, even in this pandemic that we're in. Let's just look on the bright side of things. We don't want to all feel hopeless. Someone has to keep the hope alive. So I know I'm trying my best to myself. But with everything going on, it can be a little difficult, but we're going to get through this. Okay, so I got all that smoothed out. So what we're going to do, I'm going to place these bad babies in the oven. I'm going to come back and show you guys how they look. I'm actually going to finish doing the frosting. So I'm just going to pop these in the oven. I'm going to do the frosting. Then after these get done baking, I'm going to show you how they look. And then we're going to come back and cut them and try them. So I'm just going to continue to stir this so you guys can see how it is. I'm going to try to see if I can, I can't zoom in that way. Well, just try your best to look. I'll scoot it back some. We're just going to keep stirring this mixture until it thickens. So the icing is starting to thicken up as I'm stirring it. So it's almost done. After I get done stirring on all of the ingredient consistently, then I'm going to put this in the fridge so it can harden a little bit. And it's just about almost done. As I'm looking at all of the ingredient being mixed up, it's thickening up. It's coming out pretty good. So I'm excited to put these on top of the brownies. It should look like this when you're done. And so we're going to place this in the fridge and let this just harden for a while. And I'll show you guys how that looks when it is done. If you guys have any recipes, I know I said it before, but I want to say it again. If you guys have any recipes that y'all want me to try, or want me and my husband to try, and we'll be able to try them. The brownies came out perfectly. And I thought they was probably going to come out looking crazy, but they actually came out perfect. I'm going to show you the icing, but I want to show you guys the brownies first. So I'm going to show you that pretty quick. I got my daughter in here, so I'm going to have to do that quick. This is how they look. Came out perfect. So what I'm going to do, nice warm fudgy vegan brownie for this cold spring day. Now, I gave you guys a recipe. Just if you got any questions about any other alternatives y'all can use to like implement more healthier things into your diet. I'm not a vegan, but I do like making vegan treats and vegan food because I just like trying different things and I like to eat healthy alternatives. So if you guys want actually like food recipes, like lunch recipes or food recipes, just comment down below. Let me know what you guys would like to see. I'm going to go sit down with my daughter and go enjoy these brownies with my kids. I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be a part of our channel, just hit the notification bell so you can get new content when we have it. I love you guys and I thank y'all for tuning in. And I'll see you guys in another